Okay, is everybody ready to get started? We're going to try to make the best of this because we have a couple people that are zooming into the meeting as well tonight. All right, I'd like to call to order this public hearing of Mountain Trail Solar's application to put solar panels in Windsor Township. And before we start, I'm sure a lot of you people know that we have a new supervisor in Windsor Township. Mr. Jerry Davis is joining us for the rest of this ride. So welcome aboard.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a nice holiday break. We're going to start with a couple of housekeeping items. Number one is that Mr. Davis is now seated as a duly elected supervisor, and I will note for the record that Mr. Davis actually was in attendance at, I believe, at all of the prior hearings. So he has heard all the testimony that has been presented up to this point. I do have to note for the record that I've been provided what's been marked as Exhibit Objector 4, which is a letter dated January 17th, 2024, from William J. Cluck, indicating that he is now representing Robin Davis, Julia Davis, and Alex Davis, all of 468 Sunday Road, Glen Hartsville, Pennsylvania, 19534. Mr. Gallagher, do you have any objections to these parties?
No.
Oh no, I apparently I need to read. These parties have requested that the board grant them withdrawal of party status. Is there any objection?
Well, so just to clarify, these are Mr. Davis's family members that reside at this house.
Okay.
I know, I'm asking.
Are these your family members? And they are asking that they withdraw party status. Okay.
Is it? No, I don't have an objection to the withdrawal. I had just as a housekeeping matter.
Well, can we address this issue first, and then I'll let you address your housekeeping issue. Mr. Davis, since these are members of your household, I would presume that you will recuse yourself from voting on this particular issue. Yes. Okay. If you want to make Mr. Chairman, if you want to make a motion.
All the names of Robin Davis, Julia Davis, and Alex Davis from Mr. Cluck's representation. I'd like to make that motion. Do I have a second? I will second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
And further, the motion should be to request that the board withdraw their party status. So can you make that? Can you amend your motion to include that?
I will amend that motion. Do I have a second? All in favor say aye. Ayes have it.
And for the record, Mr. Davis has not voted on this issue. Okay. Mr. Gallagher, you have another issue you wanted to address.
Yes, I mean, it's in the same line. It's my understanding that is Mr. Davis planning on sitting and considering this application?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hand out what, it's not marked, but it's a memorandum of law regarding recusal of supervisors and transcript excerpts.
Only marking it?
I would say, I think 45 and 46.
Yes, please mark this as an exhibit.
And just the memorandum goes through the relevant law regarding recusal because this is a quasi-judicial body. And I would just ask, attached as Exhibit A to this memorandum is a postcard that was mailed out by Mr. Davis. And I would just ask, is this a true and accurate?
Unfortunately, I can only do one thing at a time.
Sorry.
And since this was not provided in advance, either I can read the memorandum or I can answer your question.
You could read the memorandum.
Thank you.
The transcript excerpts are 46.
Mr. Cluck, have you had an opportunity to review this in advance of tonight's hearing?
I just received it.
We did
Test,
it.
test one. Can I be heard through this mic?
You gotta be closer to the mic.
No, I just received a copy of this at the same time as the solicitor and the board. I did not have any advance notice of this issue, and I would like the opportunity to do research. I think there's a First Amendment issue, and my recollection of the law in other cases is this is not improper bias. He's allowed to campaign and say what he says. But given that there's a memo of law, I suggest we recess the hearing until another date and give the solicitor and opposing counsel the opportunity to research and respond. Because if he's not able to participate tonight, if we're going to wait, we don't want him to participate until we rule, well, then he loses the opportunity to question my expert witnesses. So I think that's an unfair advantage to the applicant.
That would be my initial thought, and I have not discussed this with the board at this point. However, having received this, within the last 5 minutes, I am not in a position to rule on the motion, nor am I in a position to advise the board as to how they should rule on the motion. I will say for the record, Mr. Gallagher, that I don't appreciate being handed a motion on the night of the hearing and of this gravity without advance warning. Had I had this and had it been served on the opposing parties, then we could dispose of it this evening. Unfortunately, you have really given me no choice but to recommend to the board that this hearing be recessed. Now we're scheduled to be back here tomorrow evening, and now I think that I really don't think that that's even appropriate, because that doesn't really give either myself or Mr. Cluck or any of the opposing parties. So, at this point, I don't think I need a response. I am going to ask the board to make a motion to go into executive session so I can discuss this issue with them, and then we will come back and discuss it further on the record.
Before, can I just say one thing to finish this off? We didn't know that we were going to present this. I did reach out to you to ask what the intention was, so we weren't going to present this if Supervisor Davis was going to recuse himself. This is just the standard, and just wanted to note on the record that he campaigned on apparently a platform against this project. And on 46, just to note, these are transcript excerpts of the zoning hearing board hearing that was held on February 16th, 2022 for a project, a different version of it, in which Mr. Davis appeared in opposition to that project. So,
When you reached out to me, did you copy all parties?
I did not. I just asked you if this was going to be addressed or what the intention was. So,
Okay.
and for what it's worth, I mean, we're all here. I would have no objection. This isn't against anybody. It's just this is the law, and we want to put in the record that there was this opposition, and just based on the law that recusal would be appropriate.
Mr. Solicitor, if you look at the attachment, he's not opposed to this project. Counsel is misrepresenting what is on the flyer.
Okay.
I mean, just the exhibit that was handed in right before this, Objector's Exhibit 4, is notifying that every other member of his party or his family that resides in Supervisor Davis's home was a party in opposition to this application.
I understand that.
So, and then this could be, we have no objection to going through or asking questions of anybody.
It's either you're asking for him to recuse himself, and you're making a motion to disqualify him, or you're not. Okay. Which one is it?
We're making a motion to recuse himself.
Okay. Then the board will make a motion and go into executive session, and we'll return shortly.
Thank you.
Before you go into executive session, the schedule was we were going to have argument on a motion to dismiss. If the supervisor is going to be recused, or if his status is uncertain, I'm not moving forward with that argument.
All right, we're going to go back on the record. The board has met in executive session to discuss the memorandum of law regarding recusal of supervisors that has been submitted by the applicant, and based on the late submission of this document, the board has no choice but to adjourn this evening's hearing until January 24th at 6:00 p.m. In this room, at which point we will commence first with a ruling on this motion to recuse Supervisor Davis, and then second we will proceed with argument on the motion to dismiss filed by the objector. At this point, you can close the record, and then we will see everyone on January 24th at 6:00 p.m. 6:00 p.m.
Are we gonna try and get some other dates set up beyond there?
Yeah, I'll do that offline. Do you just want to make a motion to close the?
She's already closed. You already have it closed. I'm just making the motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Sorry.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Sorry, folks.